summer comes around, you gotta watch video, find out your weaknesses. You know, you kind of have an idea. Just kind of turn those weaknesses into strengths for the next season. Try to improve for the team. Just become a better player overall.
What were some of those weaknesses?
Certain pitches. Not gonna exactly say which ones they are, but certain pitches that I struggled with at the plate. You know, every hitter has hot zones, and so trying to get out of my comfort zone and be uncomfortable in training, you know, it transfers over to the game.
Josh, you're part of a pretty talented freshman class from last year that's now going into their second year. What are some expectations for you guys so far?
Yeah. You know, expectation-wise for us is to just help the team win a Big Ten championship, right? We all have the same goal. We're all on the same mission. That's what I love about this year's team. You know, we all have the same vision. So just try to get the team to win a Big Ten championship. That's the goal.
You guys return a lot of the same bats to the lineup this year. You guys swung it pretty well last year. Is there expected jump in that category this year?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that we're a pretty consistent offense, and we got a lot of experience. We got a lot of older guys like Phillip, Glasser, great role model, great leader for the team. There's a lot of them. So we got a lot of playing experience last year, especially with my class and then the guys that had already played college baseball. So looking to be pretty consistent at the plate this year, continue to put up runs, and help the pitching staff win some games.
I guess the season's approaching pretty quickly now. What's kind of the focus over the next couple of weeks just to prepare for the season?
Yeah, it's getting down to kind of the fundamental things, working on first and third plays, point defenses, trying to incorporate those little things that mean a lot whenever the season comes around to help win games. One-run games are a big thing, so just try to be sound in the field and then swing it well, of course.
Practice is just starting to get going with the season around the corner. Last year you guys came in, a lot of new faces on the field, but you're going to be in the infield with a lot of returning guys. Just what's sort of been like the fun getting back into it with them?
Yeah, it's been awesome. You know, we're able to work on different things that we couldn't work on last year. Last year was more so, how do I play with this guy? You know, never played with him, trying to feel out on the field with him. Now we're able to work on different things, you know, communicating in the infield, certain balls that, you know, other people can go get. So it's been a lot of fun.
Couple warm weather trips early in the season. How eager are you guys to just be able to get out somewhere where it's not, you know, freezing cold to play baseball?
Sorry about that.
Just how eager are you guys to get out down to some warm weather and start playing against some other teams?
Yeah, you know, it's super exciting going down south for the first couple weekends. You know, it's a league competition. It's going to be nice weather, so it's super exciting to jump the gun, play some really good teams, see where we stack up, see where we need to improve, what we do really well. So it's going to be a really good learning point for us.
After spending a few months hitting against this new crop of pitchers, what are your thoughts of that group?
You know, I think we have a really sound pitching staff this year. Dustin Glant has done an outstanding job with the pitching staff this year. We got a lot of new arms on the mound, and they've been tough to hit against. And so I feel like that makes us a better team. You know, pitching staff that's tough to hit against makes us better hitters, right? We got a good group of hitters, so it makes them have to perform better on the mound. So we're pushing each other every day, and it's making us a better team as a whole.
You had one of the best freshman seasons anybody could ever have. What can you do to get even better, you know, and improve despite how good you were last year?
Yeah, you know, every player has weaknesses, and towards the end of the year, other teams started picking up on mine, so try to limit those down, try to turn those weaknesses into strengths, right, and do whatever I can to help the team win game by game.
You mentioned the pitching staff earlier. What were some of those arms so far that have kind of stuck out in winter ball?
Yeah, a couple of the transfer guys that have really stuck out to me are Luke Sinnard and Seti. Those are the two guys that I really feel like they kind of took charge when they got here. They're vocal and they have a presence on the mound, which is a really big deal for this team.
Has Coach Mercer given you, I guess, any more additional responsibilities in terms of being a leader now that it's your sophomore season after having a big freshman year?
Yeah, that's one thing Coach Mercer does for the team is he kind of leaves the locker room and the dugout to us, and we got to figure it out, you know. And I love that because it makes us mature as a team. We got a bond. It's a brotherhood, right? So he kind of stays out of that stuff, and you know, he doesn't really appoint leaders, appoint certain players to lead. You know, we figure that out on our own, and we all communicate with each other.
Last year you mentioned there was somewhat of a learning curve after having new talent to play around with. This year, coming into year two, how do you feel with team chemistry helping you play?
No, I feel like it's been a really big part of the fall coming into the winter. Is this team is really tight, right? It's my brothers. I would die for anyone on this team, and I want to go out there and win every single game, do everything that I can to win a Big Ten championship with this team, right? I think this is a group of guys that can do that, and I think we can do something special this year.
Take two more.
How have you kind of seen the freshmen come in and adapt to the program?
Outstanding freshman class. They come in eager to learn. They're really good kids. They listen to the older guys that have a lot of experience, and they're a great group of ball players.
Anything else? If not, thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have senior infielder Phillip Glasser up next.
You missed part of last season with an injury, if I remember correctly. How do you plan to stay fully healthy this year and try to stay on the field, even though you can't always control that? How do you plan to stay healthy?
Right, you have injuries, obviously you can control, and some you can. And fortunately, a ball hit my finger and it broke my throwing hand. So, unfortunately, that was just a freak accident. So things like that you can't really control throughout a year, but just making sure you eat, your nutrition's right, your sleep's right, do everything you can for your body, in order to have, a very healthy year.
Who would you say is the player that you've been sort of working the most with in the middle of the field?
Evan Goforth. He's obviously played when I was hurt, and he's doing a great job. We built a lot of chemistry together over the fall and winter, and that's a big part of being a really good middle infielder is knowing your other counterpart. Because double plays are game changers.
We saw you kind of move around in the lineup last year. Do you have a set spot that you're going to reside in this year, or is it still going to change a bit?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what. Obviously, Coach Mercer fills out the lineup card, so we'll see there.
You're fifth-year senior now. What's kind of and second year on IU? What do you kind of see as your role as a leader on the team?
Just obviously play a lot of baseball games. Just kind of teaching guys, what I learned. Sometimes you don't have to go through the hard stuff as a younger guy if you listen to an older guy that went through it. So just learning, taking experience and everything, and just applying that to the younger guys.
What have been the couple areas that you think you've been trying to improve on your game the most this offseason?
Just, obviously my speed, and then, my range in the infield, and then on top of that, just hitting for more power.
Josh just mentioned how much he thinks it's harder to hit the pitchers in practice, that they've much improved from last year, which is obviously the struggle of the team. Have you noticed the same thing trying to hit in practice?
Yeah, the one thing I really like about our pitching staff is all those guys are just super competitive. They're not scared to attack, and, they really challenge us as an offense, every week when we face them.
With you being a senior, but also being a transfer as well, have you sort of found yourself helping the other transfers that have come in and sort of adjusting?
Yeah, obviously when you transfer, it's totally different because you go to a whole new campus, you don't really know anyone, and then obviously it can be a lot. So just helping those guys just get acclimated the best they can. Obviously it's tough, but I think with the transfers we had last year and then the new transfers that came in this year, we blended really well.
Just holistically, how much more comfortable are you in your second year in Bloomington here?
Yeah, super more comfortable. Obviously, the coaching staff a lot better, and then obviously the guys, we return a lot of position players, and you don't really know them at first, but after you go through a whole year with them, you kind of know who they are as a person. And that's the one thing Josh was talking about, how it's super exciting, knowing that, we went through it together. We know the type of players, we are. And so it's just made this year a lot better.
Coach Mercer has mentioned the importance of working with the pitchers, particularly on holding runners on second. Can you kind of talk about what your role has been in that?
Yeah, obviously, as a middle infielder, you have to be, you have to work really hard in order to make sure that runner doesn't go to third. Obviously with our looks and everything, it's kind of our responsibility to help the pitcher and keep the runner closer to second.
What facet of this team are you most excited to see come start of the season?
Facet, I'm not sure a specific facet. I'm just really excited to see how we're just going to go down and compete, on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively, and obviously the pitching side. I think that's the one thing that, we had last year. We never really gave up throughout, no matter what the score was, and we carry that same energy this year with the experience. It's going to be something, really look forward to.
I guess just what's been the biggest area of focus in these next couple of weeks as the season starts to roll around?
Right, so the fall and winter, you kind of work on things to make you a better ball player, and now we kind of move into more the competitive side. So practice-wise, just getting those environments, getting as many live reps as we can, and then obviously working on first and third plays, and those little things that can cost you a 4-3 ball game or a close ball game.
We've talked a lot about communication and chemistry today. What parts of the game do you guys see that part of your team elevating for this season?
Yeah, I think obviously offensively and defensively, just being able to talk to each other more often. Obviously, you build a relationship throughout last year with each other, and obviously the second year is a lot better. So being able to communicate with guys, know how they talk, know how they handle their ups and downs throughout the season, super important.
Got time for two more?
You guys had that deep Big Ten tournament run last year. How can you guys kind of carry that momentum over into the play this year?
Yeah, that was obviously super exciting last year, knowing that we can go, make a run like that with the team we had last year, and just instilling that confidence in those guys that we were good enough last year, we're a lot better team this year, that we can go compete with anyone, and just on that end, I agree.
You guys opened last season at an ACC opponent and then playing in the Round Rock Classic. You guys have, again, high-level competition on the road this year. What do you feel you guys learned from last season to start the year against that high-level opponents to take into this year?
Yeah, obviously you learn how to, first game, it's really no, feeling into anything. It's kind of you go right into it against a great opponent. I think the biggest thing we learned last year was, how to deal with crowd noise. Obviously playing on the road is tough, and just obviously learning like the first two series are very important, but it's also an opportunity to see where you really are. And obviously you want to play your best baseball towards the end of the year. So going out, playing good competition like that tells you exactly where your team is and what you need to improve on throughout the next 50 plus games.
Great. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you.